Welcome, my conscious family. Today we are doing something different that has never been done on this channel, but I'm really excited. I have Karl here with me. We have been working together for 3 months, and I just intuitively felt that I want to have him in one of my videos because he really has changed a lot in just 3 months. And it's been very inspiring, exciting, and beautiful to watch his energy completely shift. So we will have a conversation, spontaneous one, see how it goes. And yeah, let's dive in.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.
I'm happy that you're here, Carl. Maybe for the beginning, you can introduce yourself in the way that you see fit.
Um, I'm 26. I live in Norway, and I am very adamant on self-improvement and seeking truth.
I think it's going to be very interesting for people just to say your occupation, because I guess people can then understand also where they are at and that it doesn't really have to be something that fit in a certain box.
Yes, so I'm kind of a normal person. I'm a truck driver for work. I deliver food to grocery stores. And I actually really enjoy it. I get to be alone and listen to light language music as much as I want. And I just enjoy driving, so for some reason it suits me. But it's interesting that I am kind of a normal person, but also have this very, very high interest in spirituality.
Yeah, I think it's so important to share that because I think that many people they think that they need to fit in this box of what spirituality is. And you have been able to find connection to spirit in the work that you do, even when you are driving. Uh, what is the biggest lesson from your work that you learned so far?
Lesson, I mean, I don't know if there has to be a lesson.
Hmm.
I mean, the biggest benefit is probably just that I get to enjoy being alive.
What
I
do you mean? Give us some more information. What do you mean being alive?
I mean, it's just, pleasurable to exist. Um, and I mean, the biggest lesson I got from spirituality, or the reason I am so interested in it, is because it allows me and others to tap into the field of love that is all around us, that we exist in. But most people are too cut off from it to feel it. And doing something that I enjoy combined with constantly feeling that pressure of love pushing against me um, is kind of like being hugged 24/7.
I love.
And, you know, why I enjoy doing what I do, I don't know, but I do.
But I think you explained it. This is so beautiful. Honestly, when you talk about it, it makes me want to become a driver. Like, just because when I started this hypnosis journey, our teacher, who was teaching us, our mentor, he said, when you go into the state of hypnosis, it's similar to driving because when you're driving, you're in this, slower like brain waves that you're like getting into this beautiful state, and then you're listening to this music and absorbing it. I think it's like a meditative state that you sort of get into when you're doing it. So it's beautiful.
Okay, I should clarify then. I deliver food to grocery stores with a semi truck. It's 18 meters long and fully loaded, it weighs about 40 tons. Um, and what I enjoy is like we start our day together, kind of loading our trucks side by side, and then I mess around with my colleagues and push them around, and we joke around a lot. And I just get to be a normal human, but also kind of a light worker in my day-to-day life with spreading joy. and awareness. Okay, maybe not too much awareness to be honest, because but it doesn't matter because the vibration of just existing as a light worker is enough to change the world. Every person that I interact with on a daily basis is changed, even if they don't realize it.
Mm.
And then, I get to drive and immerse myself in this kind of bath of high frequency music, which I always listen to. Light language, which I believe reprograms our cells, our vibration, our soul stream, how we show up in the world and our presence. It amplifies the truth of who we are and our love. So our existence here changes the world and heals the
And
world and humanity.
that's why I wanted to have you here because I have experienced it. Even though for 3 months I was your mentor, I truly felt like you were also my mentor. And I felt the change in myself as well. Um, so, can you tell me what was the main reason, like how you started? I know you started different kind of healing modalities with different kind of mentors. Can you tell us? I mean, I think I know, of course, because we work together, but can you tell people what was the main trigger, sort of something that you experienced that sort of started this journey of self-discovery?
Okay, so when I was 15 years old and first found my first spiritual YouTube videos on YouTube, I immediately knew that this was true. And I finally found some kind of rescue or escape from the pain that I was perceiving to be my normal experience. I always knew something was wrong. To be honest, I was kind of an atheist before I found spirituality because all of the people I grew up with were atheists and
Mhm.
none of the religions spoke to me for good reason. But anyway, I finally found some kind of belonging and some kind of home. And my progress after that was pretty slow. I spent a lot of money, as much as I could really, on healing even then. But um, I always knew and expected that something would happen, and it kind of didn't do that. But anyway, about
Why do you think, I'm sorry, I'm just going to ask you the questions because it's important for people. Why do you think nothing happened? I'm curious.
um, for me personally, I believe that it just was meant to play out that way. And when I say nothing happened, I mean I moved to a different country. I stopped talking to my family. I've met a bunch of people. I've had a lot of interesting experiences. You know, um, I've had a bunch of different jobs. I lived in a bunch of different places. Um, but I never had this like spiritual breakthrough, which um, I mean, I was always looking for power, if I'm being honest. Power has always been like what I want. And I never really felt that I got a hold of that. I'm closer now. But about 5 months ago, I met a girl who I hurt very, very deeply. And that led me to want to know who I was very, very badly because I thought I was a very bad person. Um, so when that happened, I kind of sold almost all of my investments and spent everything I could on healing for the past 5 months. And to this day, I've spent $40,000 in 5 months on different kind of healing modalities, mostly light language activations. And even though my life seems the same on the surface, the way I experience things and the way I feel and the way I think and the way I am and my vibration and the way I impact people and the way I breathe and, absolutely everything really is different.
Can
Um,
you tell me, let's dive a little bit deeper. I remember we had a first conversation in the beginning of November, I think, the call, and then we started 1st of December. And I remember you having this opinion about yourself that you're a bad person and feeling kind of lost, looking for your purpose. And then also, you wanted to work to balance your feminine and masculine energies and create a harmony. What has changed in those few months for you?
I realized that purpose is not something you do, it's something you are. And I think that's one of the most important self realizations when it comes to self-worth. Because even though it doesn't always seem like it and you might not notice it, your vibration and your existence is what is healing the world. And this goes for every single person who's alive, every single being who's alive. Um, Maybe with the exception of the beings that are actively trying to lower the vibration of the planet and humanity. But ultimately, even they play a role in the Great Awakening and, helping us see who we truly are.
Mm,
But for the light workers and, the seekers that are watching this video, you do have an impact and you do matter a lot more than you realize. And you probably heard that 1,000 times. Um, but you're not really going to believe it until you actually feel it. And that's kind of what I'm starting to do now.
yeah, you told me that you feel that the self-love was at some point like something you wanted to work on and to feel more love and worth for yourself. Um, can you tell, I know we did hypnosis and obviously, but can you maybe share with people how they can cultivate more self-love?
I'll start by saying or sharing why self-love is so important. And the more we love ourselves, the more love we have to give. And the less we love ourselves, the less love we have to give.
So big.
This is probably the most important paradigm shift that humanity has to learn to heal and to repair what I would consider to be a fallen timeline. Because humanity, the quote unquote good people, believe that they have to do things for others and not as much themselves. Self sacrifice is a very rampant virtue. Even though it's not a virtue, it's probably the most damaging practice that exists in the world right now. Because so many people believe that to be good people, they have to self sacrifice. And the truth is, they don't have enough love to give to other people. They are not connected to their source of love, which is the universe or source or God or spirit, um, or the field of love, which is kind of how I think about it now. The all.
This is so important. I love that you mentioned that because I do believe, really, like you said, that when you are giving to yourself, you become really selfless more. And it's kind of paradoxical, but the more you set boundaries with others, which then you protect your energy, then you have more energy to give to others. And when you're constantly giving on expense of yourself because you're sacrificing, like you said, you actually, there is no love in it. I don't know if it makes sense, but it's more like you do it because you think that you are not good enough, or you should do it because you want to please others, but it's not actually love that you are cultivating. It's something else.
Yes, I mean, love is like sunlight, and the opposite of love, which is what most people are practicing, is like poison. So if you don't love yourself, you are effectively poisoning yourself and everyone around you. I
So
mean, it's so, so important that people understand that the only way to heal yourself and the world, the only way to repair all of the damage is by loving yourself. And that includes setting very aggressive boundaries, doing everything you can to maintain healthy relationships that serve you, do everything you can to act in your own best interest. And, never ever, or at least as little as you possibly can, to compromise your boundaries or your best interest. Because even though people might think that you are benefiting them when you are self-sacrificing, you are really just enabling their dysfunction and prolonging their disharmony with the world, themselves, the universe, and everything in existence. And you are just enabling their continued lack of awakening, their sleep, their
I love
dysfunction.
this. I love this. Yes, you're not actually helping them. Yes, I love this so much. We have actually really similar opinions on many stuff, Carol. That's why I was like, you have to come here because I love what you're saying. I have a few questions. Let's start first. Can you try to explain with hypnosis? You said that you started to feel more self-love. Can you try to explain how does it feel for you when you say, I have more love for myself?
I guess it feels much lighter. You don't feel so weighed down. You don't feel so defensive. Um, with hypnosis, we target the subconscious mind, which is where everything really exists that we are dealing with, the good and the bad. All of us more or less grew up in not so loving households because there there are no loving households. I mean, there's a scale, of course, some are more loving than others, but really compared to actual love, we exist in hell. And your subconscious mind is programmed to repeat what you have experienced and keep you safe from what you have experienced. And even if you grew up in a household with a high degree of genuine love, um, the separation and the trauma, the collective trauma that exists in the world, how our society operates, it's so incredibly damaging to what humans actually are and what we're actually supposed to live in. Everything is poisoned here. Our food is poisoned, our air is poisoned, our clothes are poisoned, our relationships are poisoned. So you are damaged, and your subconscious mind is kind of trying to protect you from that by attacking you so that the pain of being attacked by the world is less painful. And hypnosis or any self-love practice, but hypnosis is very, very effective, helps to reprogram your subconscious mind so that it stops attacking you. And you need a certain level of awareness to not need that protection anymore. But we are ready as a collective, so I would highly recommend that you try to get your subconscious mind to love you instead of protect you. I mean, it's always loving you, but love you in a way that's not damaging you. And the way it feels is basically just like freedom, like lightness, like expression, like safety, security, solidness, ease, lack of fear. Um, I mean, Hakuna Matata, but in a good way. It's
I
always
love when you say this. Okay, now it's so valuable everything that you're saying. So I know you said you wanted to like first work on your purpose, then we ended up with self-love, which of course everything starts from self-love. But if people are watching this and they're thinking, this Carl is so cool, I wanna watch him, I wanna see him. When can we see more of you? I'm gonna put you on the spot. Yeah.
The truth is, I don't know. I don't know how this life will unfold. Eventually, I can promise you that. But my path is guided by the divine, and I follow that path relentlessly. I trust my soul's guidance more than I trust my own eyes.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I do have a YouTube channel that I don't want people to watch, but maybe I'll post it in the comments or in the description anyway.
I think what is important here to also sort of emphasize is that sometimes we think we want something. Like, I really remember you said you want to live in your purpose because, of course, again, we are being told that purpose is, me having a YouTube channel, but that's just a channel through which I can express my soul's purpose. But it's not the purpose, if you understand what I mean. So it's very interesting how you probably started thinking, okay, this is what I need right now. But then it turned out that you needed something else at that moment. So I feel like even though this is not the path that maybe you and I both thought that we are going to go through, this is exactly what you needed in this time. And I feel like it's much closer than it was because I feel your energy has shifted.
Yes, I have been motivated by wanting to be good enough my entire life. And that's why I was so, almost desperate to find my purpose. And I'm sure a lot of spiritual people and a lot of normal people as well feel that desperation to be good enough. And they feel like they have to do something to earn that. And it doesn't really work that way. I mean, you're always good enough, even if you don't think that you are, even if every fiber in your body hates you, which it doesn't, by the way. It's just trying to protect you from other people who hated you when you grew up.
Mm.
But I mean, the truth is, we are already good enough, and we don't really need to earn anything. We, I mean, we really just need to be. Um, I mean, if I would have any advice in regards to that, it's just ask your higher self to show you the truth of who you really are. And the more you go down that path of constantly just looking for the truth of who you are, eventually you will end up realizing that you are love, you are the all, you're everything, you are us. And, you're good.
You're giving so much love for the people. I know that they will really see value in this. I wanted to ask you something when you mentioned your boundaries and your family. Can you tell us what changed for you when you started to set boundaries with your family?
I felt so much better. The less bullshit you tolerate, the freer you are, and the more beneficial you are to yourself and the planet. Um, every time you enable dysfunction because you want to be a good person or because you're scared, you think you're doing good, but you're not. Um, you heal the world by healing yourself, and the world gets healthier by you acting in a way that's healthy for you. And this includes cutting out toxic people, regardless of who they are.
I love what you said before the last sentence. I don't remember, but something you said with the toxins, and then you untoxify. The more you remove the toxic people from your life, you sort of heal other people. Something like that you said, right?
As I mean, as much as you love yourself, you also love the world.
Hmm.
And the more you cut toxic people out, the more love you have for yourself. I mean, the more love you have left, I should say, because you're not giving it away. And as much as you pour into yourself, eventually it will spill over. That's how to look at it. You just keep pouring into yourself. That's the only thing you should focus on. That's the only thing you should ever focus on. Just pour into yourself and it will spill over. Never ever try to love other people. It will happen naturally and automatically if you love yourself.
I love this. Okay, I have a few more questions. The time is going so fast, but I don't want this to be a very, very long video so that everyone can watch the whole video. Um, First, I want to ask you, what would you say if this was your last day on Earth? What is the one thing you would want to say to people watching this? I know you said a lot of nuggets already, golden nuggets, but let's go. What would be?
I mean, the most important thing is to pour into yourself. It's the only thing you should focus on. You don't love people by what you do. You love them with what you are. And the more you pour into yourself, the more you are love.
This is so good. You don't love people by what you do, you love them by who you are. Wow, Carl. Okay, we are waiting on you to create a channel. You said so many valuable things. Okay, then I will just continue to this question. Besides obviously working with me, being hypnotized, what are the things that someone can do to sort of pour into themselves when you say that?
Cut out everything that's hurting you, relentlessly and unapologetically. Is
I
this
think
good for me? Yes, no. If no, throw it away. Throw it, yeah, I mean, whatever it is.
And what if you feel the guilt around it? What if the person watching this, they say, okay, but I would feel so guilty if I cut my parents off.
You believe that you are helping them by enabling their dysfunction, but you're not. You're just repeating the pattern of hurt and pain and separation and abuse. The only way to benefit hurt people is to help yourself. And often that means, you know, not being around them.
I love this so much. Literally everything you're saying is coming like channeling the source. I mean, that's what it is the truth. And who would you advise to sort of go on this journey with me, to work with me? Who is the kind of person who should do that?
Anyone who feels called to, we never know what's going to happen. We don't even know what's good for us. I believe the only thing we can really do is to follow our inner guidance.
So you felt intuitively when we had a conversation, your intuition was telling you that?
Yes.
I love it. And I love because, sometimes people say intuition was wrong, but it's never our intuition. Whenever we chose a path and it turns out that it was wrong, I mean, first of all, nothing is really wrong, but let's say it was never the intuition. Was intuition is always right. So anyone who feels called to do what?
work with you.
On what?
It doesn't matter. Just follow the calling. You don't know what's going to happen. No one knows.
I love it. Okay. So, since we are gonna finish soon, do you have something you want to say for the end for the people? Anything you want to share? Any experience? Anything I missed out on?
The quickest way to get to where you want is mentorship. Um, for me, it has been absolutely essential. I've saved myself so many years of pain and suffering and fear by spending my money on mentorship. That's my only advice, really, when it comes to changing your life, is mentorship.
This is so good. I love it because I also always have a mentor, and I think I always will have. I think everyone who had a man who changed their lives really in a grand way and really fast. I mean, everybody had a mentor. Even if you look at the philosophers, hundreds years ago or whatever, they always had a mentor. They had a teacher. So I agree with you. You had so many things. You said so many valuable things. I really hope that people got inspired. I know that they did. And it's really inspiring that you shared also your story with your family and how actually that is helping them awaken and setting boundaries and the self-love and everything you shared is really so valuable. How do you feel now after this conversation?
Good. I feel the love.
Do you feel better than when we started it?
Yes.
And do you know why?
I'm being who I am. I'm helping people. I'm interacting with a cool person.
Okay, thank you for this last one. Thank you so much. But yes, exactly. You are speaking the truth, and the truth always feels so good. There is no better feeling than this when you are speaking the truth. And I just felt that you are being this open channel for this, for the source, for the truth. It was just coming. It was just coming, like coming out from you without any preparation, without any notes. It's just coming out from you. And I know how it feels. That's how I feel when I do YouTube. So I was like, okay. Um, okay, so this was it. Maybe we will see each other again. I'm looking forward to see everything you're gonna create. And thank you for being you and thank you for being here. It really means a lot to me.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Carl. Okay, family, write down in the comments if you have any questions, how you resonated with Carl's story. And as always, stay conscious and remember to have fun. Wait.